Today we're testing the most unhinged TikTok recipes to see if their unconventional cooking methods are actually delicious or just a hot mess. Starting with this piece of steak. Now this creator starts by saying, bet you didn't know you can make a steak like this, and proceeds to put it into a jar. Is this gonna fit into the jar? No salt, no pepper, okay. At least it fits. Someone said, you're right, I didn't know that you can make steak like this because no one in their right mind would make a steak like this. Then she grabs her onion, cuts it in half, places it inside the jar, snug as a bug. She uses garlic, but I'm gonna freshly mince mine. Now she stuffs it with a sprig of fresh rosemary, some cut up cherry tomatoes. It's giving kebab vibes, except actually not. Salt and pepper, and a nice drizzle of olive oil. And then I bet you're wondering, where is she going with this? She caps it up and then she gives it a nice shimmy shape. This is a new way of making a Bloody Mary cocktail. It looks nice and distributed. And here's where things get unhinged. She proceeds to add a kitchen towel into the pot. Somebody explained this to me, it is a fire hazard. Places the jar on top of the towel. I feel like I should put the spices side down. And then she pours water to cover the jar, brings it to a boil, and then cooks it for an hour. Stay down. If you think about it though, this is actually a different method of sous vide. So many people are thinking the same thing, but why? Someone else even said, I'd rather stand out in a snowstorm to grill than do that. Is it gonna be the most tender sous vide steak I've ever had, or is it gonna be tough and gray? We'll find out in an hour. I'm gonna place it back here to continue cooking, and we'll revisit this later in the video. Next up, we have a seemingly unassuming peanut butter toast. Let's toast our bread real quick. Then she adds a lake of peanut butter. It's gotta be like the creamy natural kind. It's very drippy. And here is when things get unhinged. She says if you're watching my video and think it's gross because you've never had it, it's because you've never had it. If you've had it, you know, like, that's delicious. But then instead of jam or honey, she puts on lettuce leaves. No stalks. People in the comments were actually very supportive. No, this makes sense because it's like another version of ants on a log, which is basically celery filled with peanut butter and raisins. People be eating veggie spring rolls dipped in peanut sauce all the time. This isn't that far off. I mean, a little bit. This is like breakfast and lunch all in one. The peanut butter brings out the sweetness in the lettuce, but somehow it works. I mean, she says it's crunchy and refreshing at the same time. 8 out of 10. With this next one, we're getting a daily dose of the internet. Bet you didn't know if you smash steamed carrots. I've actually never thought of smashing steamed carrots, but we're making crispy smashed carrots. So this creator starts off with already having steamed baby carrots. I pretty much just steam these for 10 minutes. I don't like them raw. I'm not really sure how they're gonna taste steamed either. Let's just place them down. And then he uses a glass jar to smash them. That's pretty genius. Ooh. I've seen smashed potatoes. Maybe this will give the same smashed potato vibes, except kind of falling apart. Okay. Now he adds Parmesan ranch seasoning. But let's be real, anything smashed with cheese and ranch would taste amazing. He says they're supposed to be crispy and amazing, but without any kind of olive oil, I'm not sure how it's gonna get crispy, but we'll find out. And then he bakes it at 400 for 20 minutes. Someone in the comments said she tried it and hers never got crispy. Well, they smell really good, but I don't think they're gonna be crispy. He dips it in ranch, but I really wanna just see how they taste plain since there's already ranch seasoning. Not only are they not crispy, they don't taste amazing. Someone said baby carrots are basically just shaved down carrots soaked in bleach, and I don't know what the cooking process did, but it just enhanced that bleach flavor even more. I'm gonna say this is a hot mess, 2 out of 10. And now we're gonna make some flatbread, except instead of using flour, we're gonna be using cottage cheese. Delicious. But the recipe is pretty easy. She starts by adding a cup of cottage cheese, 2 eggs, onion and garlic powder, Italian seasoning, blends it up. Gotta make sure we blend away all the cheese curds because I feel like that's the worst part about cottage cheese. It's just like a watery, kind of like a pancake batter texture. And then she pours it onto a baking sheet, spreads it out, and then she sprinkles on whatever seasoning she says you like. Someone said, I made this yesterday, added garlic, everything bagel, and Parmesan, and it was surprisingly good. That actually does sound pretty good as a topping, so I'm gonna try that. Someone else said, oh my god, this was so gross. I had great hopes too. I did, however, like it with only cottage cheese though. She bakes it up at 350 degrees for 40 minutes. And our cottage cheese flatbread is done. It smells really good, but I'm interested to see what it looks like inside because someone said mine stayed watery and soggy and was gross. Mine doesn't feel like it's watery or soggy. It seems a little more browner than hers. She added a little spread, some meat. I sliced this ham myself in our last gadget video. Okay, and then she folds it over like a wrap and it looks like a nice leathery handbag. I can confirm that this doesn't taste like egg and it actually does taste like bread with that extra everything bagel seasoning. It's 8 out of 10. All right. I think we have another unhinged but potentially delicious recipe by none other than Matthew McConaughey. He recently went on a podcast to explain what he does to his bad tuna salad, and it starts like this.
I'm gonna make a bat tuna fish. Get your tuna. Next, you gotta watch how much lemon and vinegar you add, because if you add the mayo mixed with wasabi.
Shut the f up!
Come on.
I didn't even think about putting wasabi.
Lightning. So
You're blowing my mind right now.
And then all the rest of the stuff from the chopped red onions or the dill pickle gherkin, I'll finely dice the dill pickle gherkins, crispy jalapeno chips.
Is he talking about these crispy jalapeno chips or these crispy jalapeno chips? I feel like they might actually be these ones because these will get soggy.
I'll go with some apple for some sweetness, a touch of agave.
I don't have agave, I'm just gonna use some honey.
Always got corn.
Really?
Oh yeah, some frozen green peas. As every redneck knows, is it better right then or is it better covered after you put it in the fridge the next day?
I think he lost me somewhere around the green apples and the agave. Someone said this actually sounds like the worst tuna fish salad in the whole entire world. But then he goes on to say, I'm not a redneck, so I don't know, but I kind of want to try this right now and then we'll see how it tastes the next day too. I feel like he might have had the munchies when he was creating this recipe. I mean, he is known for that, right? There's a lot of things going on in here. Try it tomorrow when it's all coagulated. Let's mix it up. I mean, it pretty much just looks the same. Okay, I'll get the piece at the bottom where everything kind of got a chance to meld together. He's actually right. It does taste better the next day. Somehow the sweetness from the honey and apples just balanced everything out. The only gripe I have is the jalapeno chips are now a little soggy. But I have an idea. What if we made a tuna salad wrap with our cottage cheese bread? Actually though, this is delicious. 8 out of 10. Apparently this creator says you can make almond milk by just mixing almond butter and water and then a few other seasonings. My almond butter seems kind of chunky. Then she adds cinnamon and vanilla bean paste to flavor it up. Another creator that did the same recipe also said she used to work as a barista and this was exactly how that coffee shop made their almond milk because it was easier and more cost effective. I feel like in order for this to be successful, you have to have a really powerful blender because I could still see some of the chunks by the lid. I've always been nervous to try making this, but I'm doing it now because I trust you. But then the creator goes on to say, I don't use it exclusively, but it's a great hack if you need almond milk. It's definitely a lot darker than the typical almond milks that you buy in the store. I'm not super impressed with it because it does definitely smell like almond butter in a jar that's been sitting, but it's good when you're in a pinch like she said, so I'm gonna give it a 6 out of 10. Next up, we have a somewhat unhinged snack recipe from Alex Earl. But basically, she eats her popcorn with a spoonful of marinara. Popcorn with marinara? Please, Alex. Apparently, she ran out of hot sauce, so she subbed it with marinara, and she says it's really good. The popcorn is just another vehicle, like pasta. It's basically zucchini noodles. That's where I'm gonna have to stop you. Someone else said, when the food runs out, you discover the best snacks. I feel like the marinara is too wet for popcorn, making